Hello, good evening everyone. Thank you for joining today. I would like to introduce the speaker of this webinar, Mr. Nilesh Desai. He is the founder and CEO of SME Analytics. He is an MSME expert and is the author of the book The Unexplored Gold Mine, The Opportunities in the Revival of the Sick MSMEs. Mr. Desai has widespread knowledge in MSMEs and he is working towards increasing operational efficiency of the MSME units. He is fond of writing daily newsletter to spread awareness about the MSME's world. Mr. Desai has a vast experience, 41 years in the engineering industries. He is a member in various committees and represents the interest of MSMEs. He has traveled extensively and has business association in Australia. Recently, we have a seminar in Balavikas where we had participated and Mr. UK Deputy High Commissioner Dr. Andrew Fleming visited our stall and he has appreciated Mr. Desai sir for the book he has written, An Unexplored Gold Mines. Thank you, Mr. Desai sir, and I request Mr. Sir to continue the webinar.
Good afternoon. Today we are going to talk about production linked incentive scheme opportunities for MSME. Many of my MSME friends will be thinking that this PLI scheme will be benefiting only large scale manufacturing company. I am going to explain various sectors, practically 14 sectors which are opened up for investment in this, the logic behind it, and what are the item opportunities available for MSME sector wise, as well as what can be done for my MSME friends to look beyond obvious. Next slide. Our Prime Minister on 5/3/2021 in his speech at the Lal Killa said that production linked incentive scheme would make a major impact on the country's MSME ecosystem by creating the anchor units in every sector that will lead a new supplier base across entire ecosystem, and it will also lead to production worth of $520 billion in India in next 5 years. Also, it will create many more jobs. Next, please. So this sets up the tone of my webinar and unlimited opportunity to be grabbed by MSME sector. It will make India next like Taiwan and many various South Asian countries in 1980s. Various countries have come out with various schemes for moving to manufacturing back to their countries for developing supply chain stronger, more particularly after COVID. India has also come out with a similar scheme for 14 sectors amounting to incentives of 3.4 lakh crores to be given over a span of roughly 5 years. This will increase domestic production capacity, reduce import dependency, and increase export from India in the coming years. Recently, Mr. Ajay Sahai, Director General and CEO of Federation of Indian Export Organization, shortly known as FIO, has said PLI scheme is well-directed scheme that would not just spur India's manufacturing and export capabilities, but would also add fillip to MSMEs linkage with global value chains. In latter part, I will explain how Maruti has changed the automotive component industry. PLI scheme would result in a hub and spoke model where large companies will set up their manufacturing capacities and MSME will evolve around them as ancillaries. Similar has happened in automotive sector, which I will explain later. These are the sectors where the PLI scheme is applicable: IT hardware, medical equipment, mobile phones, pharma and drugs, food processing, ACC batteries, high frequency solar PV modules, white goods, telecom and networking product, automobile and auto parts products, textile products, MMF segment, and technical textiles, specialty steel, aviation, and chip fabrication. The idea behind giving production link incentive is to increase the manufacturing sector capacity to a level of world-class scale and quality at an affordable cost. See, I will explain how Maruti has changed. About 40 years back, Maruti established its base in India, and with that, Japanese bought their technologies and production system. At the same time, four motorcycle manufacturers entered in India: Honda, Suzuki, Yamaha, and Kawasaki, with various collaboration with other manufacturers. Next. They realized the auto ancillary sector in India, and for reducing their dependence on import, they started developing local vendors. During these 40 years, India has become a global hub for components to work for many components. There are many success stories like Sona Group, Motherson, etc. Next. This has happened because of the large volume to meet the internal domestic market, aspiring middle class, increasing in financing models, etc., and export hub also. All the time, Maruti engineers were trying to inculcate habits of 5S, Kaizen, TPS, and help to develop an ecosystem of components. So many large car manufacturers like Hyundai, Honda, Kia, Mahindra, etc. could offer various car models to meet consumer needs. So government has looked at all the above sectors and gave 3.4 lakh crores incentive to the above sector, with past research capabilities with industry, academia, and government. Deep research capital are getting created. Apart from skill development, putting many centers of excellence, these are the ecosystem government is trying to develop. Next, please. Government is expecting this will crystallize the investment of few thousand crores, I will say few lakhs crores, and sales of few lakh crores will go to much higher to meet domestic consumption and will be exported to the international market, as we have done for automobile sector. Most of the large manufacturing has just shifted to SMP and started depending on reliable vendor base, and to reduce cost further, they have developed tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 supplier, and slowly they move to tier 1 only. Next, please. Tier की जगह में tier लिखा है. For all 14 sectors, various opportunities exist for MSME. I'll take few of them one by one so that I can explain the possible opportunities. First is IT hardware sector with large higher use of laptop, tablet, PC, and servers in all sectors like home, office, education, etc. Localization is necessary to increase the affordability. Next. As per ICEA and LCNA, electronic manufacturing sector suffers from a disability of around 8.5 to 11% on account of inadequate infrastructure, domestic supply chain, limited design capabilities, and focus on R&D by the industry, and inadequacies in skill development. So government came out with a PLI scheme for IT hardware sector so as to create globally competitive hardware sector. And see, a similar thing happened in Taiwan, and Taiwan has become hub. Korea also has become hub for a lot of components for all the above IT hardware, and they are becoming a world leader. China also has done very commendable thing in this area. China's economy is built on large export capabilities, and many things are happening in this area like government has started 1 lakh, 100 lakh crore infrastructure development, this thing, so that ease of doing business will reduce. Even 100 lakh crore Gati Shakti project, where logistic will improve considerably. Thus, at 8.5% to 11% cost difference, which Elsina has suggested, will slowly reduce, and government is incentivizing by 4 to 6% various this thing. So MSME is large opportunities for component, sub-assemblies, packing, etc. Next, please. Medical equipment. About couple of years back, when we had COVID at its peak, with 2 or 3 waves, there was a deficiency of oxygen concentrate, oxygen, this oxygen and oximeter and etc. So as we import 85% of medical equipment, government launched PLI scheme to make the country self-reliant and 4 different target segments, including cancer care, radiotherapy, medical device, radiology and imaging and nuclear imaging devices, anesthetics, and cardiorespiratory medical device, including catheters of cardio or respiratory category, and renal care medical devices, and all implant, including implantable electronic devices. All above will require printed circuit boards, various electronic components, display panel, and many kind of switches and hardware. Sheet metal component can be made by MSME. The quality of sheet metal has to be very high, and painting, powder coating, etc. will be required. With only 19 people are there? Only 19 participants? You said Philippines are also. So next is mobile phone with 5G technology around the corner, and about 200 million users to upgrade to 4G, 5G has got a huge market for our internal consumption. Many components like charger, earphone, batteries, connectors will be required in millions, including packing boxes, etc. MSME can look into these opportunities. Next. Pharma and drug. India imports 70% of bulk drugs from China. So 215 applications have been received and 47 has been approved for the investment of 53.66 billion rupees. Government is like 150 billion rupees investment. This will require large-scale equipment fabrication and process equipment, many solvents, bulk drug packing system, and many other items which can come from MSME sector, more particularly because of the change in in definition of MSME by government. Earlier definition of MSME was up to 50 crore, has now gone to 250 crore turnover. So and large capacity can be established. I think up to 50 crore plant and machinery will be classified as MSME. Next. Food processing with improved concentration by various state government, also central government. The agriculture output is increasing and changing profile of workforce. Processed food are more acceptable, so at various district level and village level, many food processing industry can be set up, and large scale FMCG company can help these units with better technology support, which will create huge employment at village level. Next. 4 interesting segments are ready to cook or ready to eat: processed fruits and vegetables, marine products, and mozzarella cheese is getting incentivized for export, branding, and marketing support. This will open up various process technology development needs and various packaging needs apart from branding and marketing technologies. lot of quality interventions also will be required, where independent consultant for food technologies can contribute in a large way. Next. ACC batteries with renewed focus on renewable energy. Recently, our Prime Minister has committed to be India carbon neutral by 2070 at COP26. So this has necessitated to change a mindset where large battery storage capacities will be required for solar power and many more things. So ACC means advanced chemical cell batteries, which can power anything from consumer electronics and EVs to entire electricity grid. The PLI scheme encourages 60% domestic value addition, and all four large corporates, Adani, Reliance, has already agreed to invest very heavy amounts in this sector, and the ancillary industries and many small plastic components, a lot of things will come up which can be looked after by MSME sector. Next, please. High frequency solar PV modules, continuing with our commitment to COP26 to meet ambitious target of 450 gigawatts of solar power by 2030. A strong base to manufacture high frequency solar PV module is necessary. So a lot of opportunities will arise for fabrication, installation, transportation, chain link fencing, maintenance of solar park, etc. are few opportunities apart from various electrical motors to move panel in the direction of sun. Specialized kind of motor and gears will be required, which can be either can be connected by IIoT or something, so that we can get maximum advantage of solar rays coming on the module direct at required angle, so that maximum production of power can be done. Next, please. Telecom and networking product. Here, MSME can directly invest to avail 7% to 4% graded incentive with a minimum investment of 10 crore. For a large company, investment required is 100 crore. It has got potential to export up to 10,000 crore per year. This is the opportunity where many specialized telecom and networking products can be thought by MSME. Next, please. White good. Another interesting sector is white good. White goods means heavy consumer durable or large home appliances like washing machine, air conditioner, stove, micro ovens, dishwasher, geyser, etc. Indian appliances and consumer electronic market was 76,400 crore in 2019 and expected to reach 1,48,000 crore by 2025, with increasing middle class and higher wages to employees, with working couple increasing. Large disposable income is creating more innovative offering to increase comfort for new couples, recently married couple who both are working and they do not have time to cook, or they don't have time to store or buy their groceries and vegetables. So they can depend on food processed items and prepare their food. So this is going to be very big item and there's a lot of opportunity. Next, please. The PLI scheme for white goods will extend on incentive of 4 to 8% on incremental sales for AC and LED lights. 6,238 crore has been earmarked for incentive. Large number of sheet metal components and plastic component sub-assemblies and packing machine can be supplied by MSME. Packing material can be supplied by MSME. Even paint of high quality will be required in large quantities. Powder coating also may be required in a large using. PLI scheme is also applicable to MSME sector. Here, MSME sector independently can work with government to get various capacities required to meet this demand and get some incentives. So the basic idea is to increase the competitiveness so that uh, we can give quality goods at affordable price to our middle class brothers and sisters, and also export. This scheme is expected to create 4 lakh new jobs and 12 lakhs indirect job. Please understand, any new direct job is increasing. 3 to 4 more jobs will be created indirectly, like there will be a need of kirana shop, ironing shop, electrical shop around where the industry comes up. So this is a large potentiality for reducing the unemployment. Next, please. PLI scheme for specialty steels. Many specialty steels required for various applications is imported and expected to be domestically produced with the scheme. The scheme will be applicable for 5 integrated product categories, namely coated plated steel products, high strength wear resistant steel, specialty rails, alloy steel products and steel wires, and electrical steels. Next, please. As steel and non-ferrous metals are made by melting various safety products for workers, mold, and many such items will be procured from MSME sector. A lot of maintenance will be required. So all that can be done by MSMEs, like machining of CNC machines may be required for getting the precision required. Next, please. To PLI scheme for aviation. This to encourage manufacturing of drone, PLI scheme is launched with incentive of 120 crore for next 3 years. Recently, drones are used in agriculture sector and emergency medical supplies, and usage is increasing, and e-commerce companies are trying to use drone for deliveries. There is a large possibility of its use in defense. So many components will be required by this sector, which can be made by MSME sectors. Next, please. So about out of 14, I have covered about 9 or 10 sectors, and I will now go to overview for MSME. From the early days of independence, the country has developed low-end manufacturing. But with Make in India, everybody worth of its salt wants to move higher in the value chain by using AI and connected technologies. From 1969, when India nationalized banks, MSME in the agriculture were supported to create jobs. In 1992, India liberalized economy and removed license Raj era, thus creating world as a market. With environment concerns, effective Chinese export has evolved in China Plus One strategy for many multinationals, more particularly after COVID and China's policy, and recently Russia and Ukraine war. A lot of people are looking for alternative supply base. Various countries have given many incentives. India followed with 3.4 crore, 3.4 lakh, 3.4 lakh crores of PLI scheme, and in times to come, it will be expanded to many sectors. Government is watching how much investment is coming, how much job is created, how much competitiveness has increased. All that they are watching, so that many more products can be included PLI, so that India becomes export hub in manufacturing product. Recently, if you see last 1 year data, India has reached 360 to $400 billion in export. But because of international price of crude oil and other things, we are still facing a problem of trade deficit. Next. India with a large pool of quality labor and geographic advantage apart from demographic advantage is on the right path to becoming an export hub and or supply chain partner for the China plus one strategy. This is reflected on export reaching $400 billion now. Many type mistakes. Next. See, Kia Motors has invested $2 billion in the last 3 years to set up operations in India because of above advantage. And this investment is done while the car market was in cyclic slowdown. So when Kia came, the market was going slow and having a negative growth. So at that time they invested. This is only possible because the ecosystem of automobile component is already available. So with minor changes, they can increase their capacity. India has got potential to increase value addition by 3x by focusing on end product quality and branding, greater localization of end-to-end valuation, and sharp focus on the competitiveness of exports. Next, please. Now, how MSME should prepare them to encash this opportunity? First, do SWOT analysis. Once you do SWOT analysis, you will be able to find out how to increase your strength, reduce weakness, look to the opportunities. It's a big picture and any traits which are there existing in your particular unit around environment at the state or country. Like that you can think. Then draw a big picture. See, most of the people in MSME sector, they think the local area is their market. Where my manufacturing is in Jidimatla, I will look up to Hyderabad. I'll not go look beyond Chennai or Bangalore or other things. So if they draw that picture and they work out differently, they will be able to draw their big picture, and then they can work out how the investment required can be made, working capital requirement can be met, improve quality. This is very much necessary because this all large sector, large corporates like automotive or telecom or steel, last 30 years, they are continuously insisting more and more quality product to come out from MSME sector. And many MSME entrepreneurs have taken that challenge, and that is why Hyderabad or Telangana is leading in aerospace and many drone technology, solar technology, EV technologies. Hyderabad is becoming a sort of, or Telangana is becoming a sort of hub. Apply 5S, Kaizen, TPS, etc. in a phased manner. Government, MSME ministry is also coming out with many schemes where they can support lean manufacturing or Z certification, which will increase your competitiveness through reduction in process wastages. They will help you to identify. Also, as a good citizen of world, we have to look after our children and grandchildren who will have to face increasing environment problem. So if we follow Z scheme, we'll reduce the We will support the initiative of environment also. Then identify process wastage. Wherever possible, try to automate your manual processes and reduce the wastage, which will increase your competitiveness. Last but not least, sixth. Next, please. TQM, TPM, other lean manufacturing has to be adopted in waste matter. Continuous focus shall be on increasing operational efficiency by understanding that balance sheet and profit and loss, nurturing talent and digital transformation. SMEA can help in these efforts. Next, please. Please understand that quality control and allied system reduces cost and also encouraging innovations. Large innovations can come because of this insistence on quality control, adopting 5S, and that is all Japanese system, but it can be easily adopted starting with 5S and then going up to lean manufacturing. Once the ecosystem starts developing, it creates the mother and daughter industry. I will, latter part of my this thing, I will explain that how it is coming now. Hyderabad, the fan industry has started because of Usha fans, and today many small manufacturing has started creating their own brand. So because of Usha, a lot of ancillary items were given, and Usha was a national supplier with a good brand. So hundreds of thousands of small vendors to give service to Usha has been developed, and over a span of time, Balanagar, a lot of components industry has come up for fans, and which ultimately has become a assembly unit, and many brands, popular brand has been coming out of that, and then now next phase is also coming. IoT application of IoT, some of my friends have started so that they can reduce the energy consumption in the fan. Next. Similarly, HMT Hyderabad division was a special purpose machine division, and has given birth to many special purpose machine around Hyderabad. See, at that similar time, 1992, government opened up the economy, and that's a lot of automobile, motorcycle manufacturers and car manufacturers started coming, which necessitated the demand for special purpose machines, and Hyderabad has become a hub, and out of that MTAR and now many space defense organizations are there in MSME has already come, and that is why that ecosystem is existing, and that is giving giving a lot of opportunities because of these available ancillaries. Tata has started here manufacturing of aerospace parts, and many such defense-related units or space-related units are coming in a large number. And this is the advantage of hub and spoke model, which will help, or in earlier speech I said mother and a daughter. See, when a main unit like DHL has come here and 200 or 300 ancillary unit has come up in Patancheru area. BDL has come up, Kanchanbag and Banur. Both has given a birth to many ancillary units. And because of that, flow of technology, flow of process, flow of design capabilities has increased considerably. And this is happening wherever, say, Bhilai Steel Plant or BHEL Hathwar or IDPL Hyderabad or many other IDPL that has given a lot of birth for a large number of Unix around and technologies. Similarly, IDPL has given a bud to many pharma companies, and with the PLI scheme, government expected fresh capital investment of 15,000 crore and 3 lakh crore in pharma cells and expect increase worth of 2 lakh crores. Next, please. I also bring to the notice of all that LPG cylinder manufacturing and hand pump industry are good example of the strength of MSME. You see, one gentleman about 35 years back started LPG cylinder making machine in which he started establishing LPG plant, and luckily at that time India was also opened up the economy. So roughly because of that pioneering effort, about 45 to 50 MSME units have come up all over India in MSME sector for LPG, and then that has created a demand of foot rings and cylinder valves and many other things, including painting, zinc wire for spray metallizing. Everything has come up from many MSME units. Hand pump also about say roughly 73. UNICEF started giving hand pump Charotar type, and then India Mark III and all that, and India has become, Hyderabad has become a hub for export of hand pump and other things. UNICEF. So these are the advantages which the PLI scheme will create, and innovative entrepreneurs will be jumping to next 2-3 levels of growth in next few years. Next, please. How MSME should prepare them to encash this opportunity. About 20 years back, I attended a seminar on automobile component. The purchase manager said that if you are, please listen this, if you are ready to reduce the cost of component by 3% year on year for next 10 years, irrespective of raw material cost going up, he will give any quantity as required by vendor. What does it indicate? He said, assuming that raw material prices are increasing by 2 to 3%. So he is trying to say that there are process inefficiencies in your component manufacturing, which you can continuously reduce by 5% year on year for 10 years. If you need a larger quantity, he is ready to support, because he was very confident that whatever quantity he gives, 10 times more or 20 times more will be required in next 10 years. So this is the similar thing is likely to happen in many these 14 sectors. He is clear that by adopting lean manufacturing can reduce cost to get more market share. So look into unlimited opportunity for MSME because of PLI scheme. Next, please. See, this is our what we do as SME analytics. We have developed a tool known as Babaji, where we do the we will give the tool to you where you can feed your data, analyze your balance sheet to get 52 ratios, and you can compare internally with your earlier performance of 1 or 2 years. This will give a deep understanding, and will ask why. That will help you to become aware and to reduce your cost and increase your cost competitiveness. There are 3 items which we are giving. This is one of the items. We also provide mentorship and advisory service. We would like to develop Z score for MSME to manage insolvency risk and also to reduce rate of growth of NPA in banking sector. Next, please. Before I go to this certification, see, nurturing talent is also becoming critical. See, our whole idea is to increase operational efficiency from available tangible and intangible assets. Many times you will not be knowing your intangible assets like your brand power or quality power, and you may not be knowing the habits of payment. Where recently, uh, see, by adopting artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, where small application of a small application of data can give you deeper insight of your existence and nurturing uh, talent in your own workforce. See, Japan has done that in Second World War time. That is why Toyota production system and total quality management or TPM, etc., has born out of Kaizen and born out of Gamba Kaizen. So many things have come out of Japan and Germany. So recently, we have been awarded by HICIA as one of the top 10 startup in Hyderabad in social sector. Next, please. I am also a permanent resident of Australia, also citizen of India. I am ready to offer my service as director for Australian companies who want to expand in India. Similarly, I am ready to offer my service for Indian companies to expand in Australia. Next, please. Our next webinar will be on 21/5/2022 on an important topic, CMA data and its importance. I will send you the details by Monday. Please participate in a large number, because from 1969, banks, Reserve Bank and many banks and other thing methodologies are getting adopted, and how that CMA data can help entrepreneur to be, because help him to think better for his own unit rather than I want 50 lakhs or 100 lakhs more working capital, which is narrowing down his thinking. Next, please. I will request everybody to subscribe my YouTube channel, which will help us also to reach you better. Next, please. Thank you. Now we are open for question answer. Gayatri will read and I will try to answer to my best capabilities. Thank you. Please take outside question first. Keep it tab on time also.
Sir, questions are raised and just I would like to read one by one, sir.
Read it out.
For grains and pulses, is there PLI scheme? For grains and pulses.
What is the question?
For grains and pulses, is there PLI scheme?
Grain and pulses.
Yes.
Because of this war, government is thinking there is no PLI scheme for grains and pulses. But food processing industry, if you are adding value and packaging, then definitely a large scale production can be done, and that you can think in that 4 segments which I have mentioned: ready to eat, processed fruits and fish and other products. Please look into that. That may help you. Next.
Whether components to manufacture AC compressor or any other AC components will be eligible for incremental investment and incremental sale or not?
Incremental investment, I am not sure, but MSME segment can make components like in the AC compressor with a large capacity up to 10 crore rupee investment in plant and machinery. You can get incentives on incremental sales. Please understand incremental sense. So there is always opportunity for MSME to look into that area. Next, please.
Who can be an applicant under the production linked incentive scheme for white goods?
See, government has restricted large companies to come in this for large production, and Samsung, LG, those kind of companies have already started working closely with government, and last they have already entered and production has started coming in. I am not sure of MSME sector, but up to 10 crore component industry can come for supplying, tying up with this large scale manufacturer and slowly grow their capacity so that they can become a vendor to national world as a market, they can expand as world as a market. I hope I answered your question. Next.
Is it imperative that finished goods should be included under the PLI scheme to make the OEM more aggressive and expand the domestic market?
I am not clear about your question, but the government idea is to make the all white good items very competitive and affordable, so that middle class in India can use more and more, and export base can be built up. So, see, Australia has stopped manufacturing cars and automobiles because it is very costly there. Labor is costly there, so they have shifted to many other countries. I have spent during my last visit, I have seen many cars of Maruti, Suzuki there, made in India. So similar thing also will happen for our local brands like Havels or like but like Voltas, they can always look for export as a big opportunity with a component coming from MSME sector. The quality component will reduce their cost of assembly. They will go to assembly and large scale assembly. They can automate, use robots and other things in their plant, thus reducing their cost of manufacturing and improving the quality. Next. A lot of IoT application also will come up. Next, please.
What are the investment categories under each target segment? Can an applicant apply under more than one investment category?
See, it depends on which, see, there are got 3, 4 sister concerns with the similar director or relatives. There in white goods, there is a provision, but I am not sure whether that window is open or closed. Next, please.
Does an applicant proposing to manufacture more number of components in the entire value chain have higher priority in selection?
I do not have the answer. See, many things have changed after COVID and recent conflict between Russia and Ukraine. So, the government is taking dynamic decisions. See, few days back, I read somewhere wheat cannot be exported. And now government is thinking, and they are sending a delegation to various 9 countries, whether wheat can be exported, so that on a humanitarian ground or bilateral ground or various other methods, so that both the countries can be helped. So the government has become very, very dynamic now at this moment and very, very sensitive to the market changes. Next, please.
Sir, there is a question. Sovik, he has sent a message. Just Sovik, Souvik, Day. Just curious to know, is there any recruitment currently going on SME analytics for various profile positions?
See, we are continuously supporting MSME sector, and ours is a social startup, fintech startup for MSME. We want to increase the operational efficiency of MSME unit. We believe that the assets created from 1969 nationalization of the bank till today, if you take real estate and other infrastructure facility will be 300 to 400 crores. So if we can improve the operational efficiency by 5% year on year, for next 3 years, there is a potentiality of 3 to 4 crore low skill jobs to be created and 1 crore jobs which are going out because of sickness or weakness in MSME. So we are always continuously looking for good quality of talent in digital marketing, software, analytics, and HR particularly, when we are coming out with a new product for supporting MSME unit in nurturing that talent. We are also involved in some of the CSR activities of YES Foundation through EDI Hyderabad and EDI Ahmedabad. So we are always looking for good talent, dynamic talent, and we are not fussy about high education levels, but we are fussy about their smartness. They should be smart, understand the problem and solve. Next, please.
The questions are not there. Thank you very much for answering the questions. Dr. Mohan Rao has sent a message. More such exposures are needed. Dr. Mohan.
Dr. Mohan Rao, thank you very much. Sir, see, for last 2-3 years, I am continuously having various seminars on MSME sector, and I strongly believe government is trying to do both state and central government and RBI for MSME sector. Now time has come for MSME entrepreneurs to believe Apna Hath Jagannath, and they should come out of the philosophy of roti, kapra and makan and look for the purpose why they started MSME. Either for they have to look, definitely they have to be selfish for roti, kapra and makan. But many MSMEs are closing down, becoming sick and weak. That is what I am going to talk in the next webinar on CMA data. Basic question is, who has to prepare CMA data? That is the question. And various my professional friends, because of their software, they adjust the things in a such a way that entrepreneur is signing blankly without knowing if his head is going to be cut because of his hurry or his firefighting every day. So I will request everybody to participate in next webinar. And if there are no more questions, we will close early by 2-3 minutes. Or any question, please? Any last one?
Thanks a lot, sir, for your excellent presentation and also clarity of your mind to express to the listeners. So we do hope that future webinars will also have the similar things, sir.
Sir, definitely every week I am putting at least my team is putting at least about 20-25 hours and doing research and coming out with many updates. And I am also applying myself because whatever I learn from my MSME friends and what is happening in the ecosystem and economical system, I try to come up with topics which help them. So in next 2-3 webinar, next 2-3 weeks, we'll be coming out with a webinar on possibility engineering and the advantage of 5 whys. That people like you should support this cause because this will change the job profile, earning level of our other low skilled workers, and it will also help agriculture sector to increase more productivity, because the dependent of 2 brothers or 3 brothers on half acre land will reduce. So that will make the India prosperous. I am in a strong support to create $5 trillion economy with the available resources. See, creating resources is government job. They are spending 100 lakh crores on infrastructure or 100 lakh crores on Gati Shakti, and all that is all right. Let them do that. But what I can do for myself and my country is the spirit with what I am trying to work and enlighten my MSME colleagues.
Sir,
Thank you,
I am
Dr.
very
Mohan.
happy to see the interest you are having and the agility of, projecting your thoughts among the audience, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you,
I
sir.
will
Thank
call
you.
you separately, sir.
Okay, sir. Just share your mobile number so that we can.
Sure,
Thank you.
sir.
You are from Hyderabad, Dr. Mohan Rao?
Sir,
You are from Hyderabad?
yes, sir, I am from Hyderabad.
Thank you. So we have got a consultant group also where all MSME consultants meet once in a while and exchange the knowledge sharing sessions.
Excellent, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So please participate on my next webinar on CMA data on 21/5. Thank you everybody for participating. Thank you.